Hello everyone, welcome to another video with Mr. Math. Today we're sending an episode of Homework Help. Okay, we will be talking about equation of a line and the form slope-intercept. Okay, let's start. Okay, we have a couple exercises in here. And what we will do, we will solve this off exercises. We're not solving the even, okay? So before we start, let's talk about the slope-intercept form. So we have an equation of a line in this way. Y mx equals to mx plus b, where this m is the slope. So the slope is the coefficient that goes next to the x variable, and this b element, this coefficient, will be the y-intercept. That means that this is the y-intercept is the coordinate when x is equals to 0. Okay, so that being said, this is basically what we need. Let's go to our first exercise. Okay, we need to identify the slope and the y-intercept on each equation and then graph the line. So in here, if we just rewrite the form y equals mx plus b, we can see that this b is equals to -2. That's the y-intercept. If we remember what we just wrote, there is a coordinate called 0, -2. Okay, and my slope should be the coefficient of x, which, since there is no number in there, that should be a number 1. Okay, positive slope. Let's take a look on that. So we have a small grid in here. I didn't like it too much, so I created my own. Let's place this point first. 0. We have one point that is 0, -2. Where will be that point? Let's check on our grid over here. 0, -2 will be around there. Okay, now on the equation, what happens in here? We have y equals x minus 2. We still need another point. Y equals x minus 2. What about if we say that x is equals to 2? Okay, we'll have y equals 2 minus 2, then y is equals to 0. So look at the coordinate. When x is 2, y is 0. So we have a coordinate 2 on x, 0 on y, which will be 2 on x, 0 on y will be around here. Okay, now that we have 2 points, which is what we need for a line, we can draw this line. Okay, this worked good. Okay, that's our line. I'm going to try to prolong this line to a different space. Okay, it means that that line passes through those points. It's not just a line that goes into those points. Okay, there we go. Okay, and this line here is the representation of the equation, or is equation of the line of y equals x minus 2. Look, the y-intercept is here. B is equals to -2, and we know that the slope is positive, is 1, so this is slanted to the right. Okay, let's continue. Okay, our next exercise. Okay, so look what we have in here. One more time, we're not working number 4. So what do we have in here? Remember, one more time, the slope form, the slope-intercept form. Okay, so there is no b, there's no coefficient after the 3x, so that means that the intercept is 0. Remember, when b on the intercept with y 0, x should be 0. So we're having a point like x 0 and y 0. That means that it passes through this point in the middle. Okay, and my slope is 3. Okay, let's place this point. Okay, the first point, it was 0, 0, right there. Okay, and now we need to calculate another point. Okay, So let's calculate this point for the equation y equals to 3x. We have y equals to 3x. What about when x is equals to 1? When x is equals to 1, y is equals to 3 times 1. So y is equals to 3. So look at the coordinate pair. When x is equals to 1, y is 3. So this is the pair, 1 and 3. So the point is around there. Let's mark it clear. 1, 3 is right there. Okay, let's put a line. Okay. Again, this line, those 2 points, it doesn't mean that the equation goes only from one point to another. It passes through those points. Okay. And this is the representation of the equation of the line y equals to 3x. Okay, let's continue. Next one. We are not working on exercise number 6. We're working only on number 5. Again, it's very useful to write here y equals mx plus b, which is the slope form, the slope intercept form, because we can compare and we can make a match. So very clear in here. My intercept is 2. So again, x is 0, and then we have an intercept on 2. But then my slope is negative 1, 6, which is the coefficient of x. Now, this one looks a little different just because of the fraction, but we just need to calculate with a good value, with a value that makes sense. So we have the equation y equals negative 1, 6, x plus 2. What about if we say that x is equals to, I don't know, maybe, what about 2? No, something easier. Let's make it with 3, when x is equals to 3. Okay, I will have y equals negative 1, 6 times 3 plus 2. Okay, y, I'm going to simplify here the third 1, the third 2, and I have negative 1 half plus 2. Negative 1 half plus 2 is basically 1.5. Positive, right? So when x is 3, y is equals to 1.5. That is my point. 3 on x, 1.5 on y. Now, take a look that the slope in here is negative. So if we have a negative slope, it is slanted to the left. So first point is going to be 0 and 2. 0 on x, 2 on y, right? And the second point will be 3, 1.5. So 1.5 seems to be around here, this level. So it's 3 on x and 1.5 on y. Okay, something like that. Okay, let's mark this with a line from here to here. Trying my best to do good lines. Okay, something like that. And we increase it something like this here. Okay, and this is the representation of the line the line that corresponds to the equation y equals negative 1, 6 x plus 2. Okay, let's continue. One more time. We are not working number 8. We're not working the even numbers. We're working only the odds exercises. So what do we have in here? Y equals to 1/4 x minus 7. One more time. Very useful. Y equals mx plus b. So my b is negative 7. Therefore, my intercept will be 0, negative 7. This is the intercept with y-axis. And my m is 1/4. That is my slope, 1/4. That looks bad. Better. Okay, that's better. 1/4. Now, let's get to this graphic down here. So first point 0, -7, and then we need to find another point. What about, okay, we have y equals to 1/4 x minus 7. What about if we say that x is equals to 4? We'll have y equals 1/4 times 4 minus 7. We simplify, this becomes 1, and y is equals to 1 minus 7. 1 minus 7 is -6. So look at the point in here. Let's find out where's that point. Whenever one of the points is 0, -7, should be around here. And the other point says when x is 4, y is -6. 4 and -6 around here. Yes, we're correct. So let's make the line. Trying our best with this line. Okay, all looks good. And this is the representation. This line represents the equation y equals 1/4 x minus 7. Okay, so look, our intercept with the y-axis is -7, and our slope is 1/4. Okay, let's go. I think this is the last one of this type. Yeah, thank God. Okay, now exercise number 9. Remember, we're not working on 10. Now, look, we just have the elements on a different order. Just don't get confused with it. It's the same. So we can reorder this and put 2x minus 7. That's it. And that is our form. Y equals to mx plus b. So b will be -7, and y will be, and our slope, which is m, will be 2. Now, for b, for this intercept with the y-axis, we'll have 0, -7, right? Now we need to find one more point. Let's try, we have the equation y equals -7 plus 2x, right? Or 2x minus 7, exactly the same. It doesn't matter. So what if we say that x is equals to 3? Okay, when x is 3, we'll have y equals to -7 plus 2 times 3, have y equals to -7 plus 6, y is equals to -1. When x is equals to 3, y is equals to -1. So our point is 3, -1. Let's find this on our graph. 0, -7 is the first point. Let's find this out here. 0, -7 will be around here. And the other point is saying 3, -1. Whenever x is 3, when x is 3, y is -1. Right there. Okay, now let's make our line. Okay, that looks acceptable. Okay, and that is the equation of the line of -7 plus 2x or 2x minus 7. Remember, we're just changing the order of the elements. 2x minus 7. That is the equation of the line. Okay, let's continue. So on number 11, one more time, we're not doing 12. On number 11, it says write equation of the line and on the line shown on the graph. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. just to understand what's going on here. So first of all, we have here the y-axis. We have the first element that we can see is the intercept. That is the y-intercept. So when x is 0, the coordinate in here, when x is 0, right, when x is equals to 0, then y is equals to -1. So we have this coordinate, 0, -1. And if you remember, this was 0, b. Therefore, my b is equals to -1. So we know the equation of the line, whatever it is, we still don't know the slope, will be a y equals to mx, because we haven't calculated yet the slope, -1. We know already this element here. Okay, let's keep that for a moment. There. Now we need to calculate the slope. One of the easiest way to calculate the slope is to mark and select 2 points on the line. At this moment, we are already given, like it's not a secret. Like there are 2 points in here. I'm gonna mark with maybe with a blue color. Look, this point in here and this point in here. So let's find coordinates and let's give names to those points. I want to call this point A and this point B. My point A is 1, -1, -2, -3 on x, and 1 on y. And my point B is 1, 2, 3 on x, and -1, -2, -3 on y. Okay, we need to calculate the slope. First of all, the slope will be negative because this is slanted to the left, or is a decreasing line. Okay, that's another way. How can we maybe see it? But let's calculate the slope. Okay, we have first point, A, -3, 1, point B, is 3, -3. Okay, to this point A, just because I want, I'm gonna call this my point 1, and B my point 2. My point 1 will have the coordinates x1, y1, and my point 2 will have the coordinates x2, y2, and my slope, if we remember, our slope is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's replace. Y2 should be -3, well it is, minus 1 over x2, that is 3, minus this x1, which is -3. Okay, so we'll have -3 minus 1, that is -4, and negative times negative is positive. We have 3 plus 3, that'll be 6. This is -2/3 if we simplify half and half. So my slope is -2/3. That being said, we have y equals -2/3 x minus 1. And that should be matching with each one of the elements in here. Okay? How do we know if this is correct? How do we know if this equation of the line is correct? Because we plot, that's one of the options. We can plot any of the points for A and B on X, and that should result in Y. So let's, simple inspection. Let's use X equals to -3. If X is equals to -3, negative times negative will become positive, but the 3 and the 3 will get simplified. So we'll have +2 minus 1. That is a y equals to 1, which will work. What about for the next one, for x equals to 3? If x is equals to 3, negative times positive will be negative. We simplify 3 and 3, we'll have -2 minus 1. That is -3 that we have in here. Okay, so this is telling me that our equation is correct. Let's continue. Now we have to do exactly the same. One more time. We're not doing 14. Okay, let's identify here a couple things. First of all, we have the intercept here, right? That intercept is telling me that whenever x is 0, right, y is 1, 2. So that means that my b, my intercept, which is b, is 2. One more time, we'll have something that is y equals mx plus 2. We already have this number. Okay. Now, let's select the 2 points that were given here on the graph, right? I mean, the graph is intentionally giving us those points, so we're not gonna look for different points. So again, I'm gonna call this my point A, and I'm gonna call this my point B. My point A looks like -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 on X, and 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 3 on Y. My point B looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on X, and 1 on Y. Okay, so point A, -5, 3, point B, 5, 1. Okay, now we need to calculate the slope using these points. Okay, I'm gonna call this one my point 1, and second one my point 2. Will it change if I call different, if I call point 2 and point 1? No, it wouldn't change as long as I keep my coordinates in order. So point 1 will have x1, y1, point 2 will have x2, y2. Okay, so my slope, um, let's remember, uh, our slope is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, y2 is 1 minus y1 is 3 over x2 is 5 minus x1, which is -5. Common mistake in here is that we just put a straight 5 minus 5, and that creates 0 in the denominator, and then we have, like, even if we're using a calculator, we have a big trouble in there. -2, 1 minus 3, -2, divided by 5. This is +5. That'll be 10. This is -1 over 5. So let's take a look. The slope is negative. So if the slope is negative, it should be leaning or slanted to the left, which is correct. It's there. So according to this, our equation is, let's write the equation of our line. Should be y is equals to -1/5 x plus 2. Again, how do we know if this is correct? Let's replace the values here. Let's replace those values of x. So when x is equals to -5, I will have negative times negative positive, right? And the 5 and the 5 are gone. So I have +1 plus 2. That should be the 3 that I have there. Now, when I replace for 5, I will have negative times positive, negative. The 5 and the 5 are gone. And then I have -1 plus 2. That should be 1. So that is telling me that the equation of this line that we calculate is correct. Okay, let's see. I guess we have around 2 more. No, this is the last one. All right. So let's see, what are we doing here? Just to keep the custom. Okay, 16. We're not doing 16. Okay, for 15, there we're going in a different way. Now we have the graph, and then we have 4 options for the equation. We need to select the one that actually works and matches with this equation. So first thing to think in here, the line is leaning to the right, is slanted to the right. That means that the slope should be positive. Therefore, in my form, y equals mx plus b, this m, which is the slope, needs to be positive. Therefore, option C could not be, because my slope here is -3. So option C, no. Option D, again, is negative. No, it's not. Now, another element that we find, the slope, the intercept with the y-axis. is 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 4, which is positive 4 and positive 4. So that intercept is not telling me yes, this is or this is not. Okay? Because when x is 0, that'll be the point. Now, the easy way in here is just to select a point that we're sure how that looks like. For example, this point here. Okay? We can define those coordinates. That is -2 on x and -2 on y. And then we need to verify which one of these two lines actually contains that point. Okay, we have only these two options, right? We have y equals here. We have y equals to 3x plus 4. Okay, let's try for x equals to -2. So I have y equals to 3 times -2 plus 4. Y is equals to -6 plus 4, and -6 plus 4 is -2. So when x is equals to -2, this is negative, then y is also equals to -2. So here is my point. This is telling me that this point here belongs to this equation. So that should be the equation of the line. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Let me take you to a different spot here. Remember, you can send your where's this at? You can send your questions. Remember, follow us on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, social media. We will be glad helping you. That's our goal all the time. Just send us your messages. Okay. Remember, you can visit our website, gomrmath.com. Upload your homework. Upload your classwork. Something you did not understand. We'll be glad providing you some content. All right. Thank you very much.